We is live. First and foremost, happy Victory Monday to the winners and to the losers. Remember, there's always next week. I am your host, Ree, aka the Black Adam Scheffner, and this is Reaction Monday. Welcome, people. Man, feels great to be back. Um, I know it's been some time since I've seen you. Had a lot going on. Had a work schedule change. The holidays. I had a kid. So yeah, had a lot going on. But all that matters is that I'm here. Um, the time off definitely was nice. Coming up with a game plan just to make this better, improve, and just make sure I bring you the best Reaction Monday sports show, whatever you want to call it, in 2024. So here we are, kicking things off. We had our Thursday night. Oh, was that Thursday? Yeah, Thursday night matchup. We had the New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns, a game that the Dog Pound was able to win 37-20. Shout out to the Dog Pound. Um, damn. Did y'all see Joe Flacco? Did y'all see Joe Flacco, man? Since taking over as starter, Joe Flacco is now 4-1 on the season. Um, that's four straight games now of 300 yards. Cleveland's hot. Cleveland is hot. Call it what you want. They overcome adversity. I see people saying they remind you of the Eagles that year when Wentz got hurt and Nick Foles came in and took over. But whatever it is, this team is playing for Joe Flacco. The defense is insane. Might be the best unit in the league. Um, I don't know who they clinched playoffs. Cleveland's in the playoffs. The Browns are not the Browns. They said the Browns is the Browns. You can't say that no more. Um, as for the Jets, the Jets are a dumpster fire, man. Um, Robert Salas, I think that's the coach's name. I'm not sure how much longer this guy's gonna have a job. I'm not sure if the guy actually knows what he's doing. Then you got Aaron Rodgers, who had people thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna come back this year, whether we make the playoffs or not. I just want to come back to show that this new medicine work. Whatever." Stringing y'all along, y'all for the people that believe the BS. Um, but then he comes out and says now that he's not playing. That's it. He shut down for the season. They added him to the 52-man roster. They took somebody who was a veteran player and moved him off of the team to the practice squad to make a spot for Aaron Rodgers, who's not even coming back to play. And Aaron Rodgers said he had nothing else. He had nothing to do with it. He didn't know about it. Whatever. But it's just funny. I don't have much to say about them. But shout out to the Browns. What y'all think the Browns gonna do in the playoffs, man? That defense is scary. That defense is scary, man. Oh man. Okay. But next up, we had our Saturday night matchup. We had Detroit Lions at the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. A game that the boys was able to win 20-19. Holy cheat. Holy cheat. That's that like do I even talk about the game? Like we have to address the elephant in the room. First things first, if you didn't see the game or hear about it, it was a controversial call. The Lions went for two at the end of the game. The 2-point conversion was then negated. The referee said that the correct lineman did not check in. Now, as a fan of football, this hurt. Dallas fans, I'm not trying to hate on your team. I know y'all get all sensitive. Everybody's hating on us. No, this is not that. But as a fan of football, what happened in that game was not good for the sport. And it hurt to see, like, they literally took the game out of their hands. Like, we see it happen often where, calls may have a bearing. You never know. You never know how it's going to play out. But that call could have had some impact on the game. That call had a direct impact on the game that they took points off of the board. I don't know. Just crazy. Just crazy. But there's video evidence. You literally seen Jared Goff tell the lineman to go check in with the ref. And you see, he goes over, checks in with the ref. In the distance, you see number 70, who they said, I guess he was the one that checked in and 68 didn't. Whatever. You seen who walked up to the ref and checked in. Dan Campbell told them before the game that, if this situation comes up, this is what we do. Um, so yeah, it's all on tape, people. It's all on tape. But whatever. So they call it back, and now actually the next day it comes out. They're saying that ref crew is not allowed. Not I don't know. I don't want to say not allowed, but they will not be refing the playoffs this year, which is a good thing because there's two other games that they had made some controversial no calls or calls. One being the Kansas City Packers game, no pass interference missed, blatant that they didn't call. But this crew is just they got. I don't know if they got the parlays in or I don't know. Um, but that was bad. That was real bad. Dallas fans, I get it. A win is a win. You're supposed to. They're hard to get. Take them. Take them for granted. Be happy, but deep down inside, as a fan of football, not as a fan of the team, as a fan of football, you can't feel good about that, man. You can't feel good about that. Um, but now they're coming out saying that they sent number 70 to the side for deception, and that's how the ref got confused. Look, just say the ref got confused. There's no deception. Yeah, what? Of course, they're not. Dallas isn't fully supposed to know what they're doing. Him checking in to say that he's going out for a pass or he could, that's the ref job to relay that message that the correct number is going out for the pass. Don't say, oh, they sent another guy over to create confusion. It doesn't matter what it looks. They get told exactly what number is reporting as eligible. Therefore, the ref should have reported number 68 was going out or he was eligible to go out. Um, I don't know, man. I don't want to stay on that too long, but it definitely you hate to see it. CD Lamb top three in the league. Um, if you want to say this season, I definitely could have. I can't say he's not this season, but overall, do you really think CD Lamb is top three? Drop in the comments if y'all think CD Lamb is top three overall wide receivers in the NFL. I need answers. As for the Lions, though, they're still legit. Still make some noise in the playoffs. They got explosive offense, weapons all over. Golf can get hot and just air it out. Don't hang your heads, Lions fans. You have a great year. Your season's going great. Um, People questioning the call to go for two. Look, people, I don't know if it's football 101, but in my mind, it's why extend the game? Why extend the game? You get your result right then and there. Either you're gonna win or you're gonna lose because then you still got to get another stop. You still got to score again. Whatever can happen, but injuries, just get the game over with. Um, but the Lions will be all right. As for the Cowboys, what do y'all predict the Cowboys? Are the Cowboys legit this year? I'm hearing the Dak CD connection, like the defense, and are the Cowboys legit? Drop in the comments if y'all think the Cowboys will be legit and make at least the NFC title game. Do you see the Cowboys making the NFC title game? Um, but let's move along. Move along. Kicking off our Sunday matchups, we had I would say the game of the week. Well, it was broadcasted and hyped up to be the game of the week. We had the Miami Dolphins at the Baltimore Ravens, a game that the Ravens flock was able to win 56-19. 56-piece extra crispy. Wow. 56-piece extra crispy. Did y'all see Lamar Jackson? Did y'all see Lamar Jackson? I think I should clip that and make it like a soundbite or something. Did y'all see Lamar Jackson? I've been asking that a lot this year. Go back and watch the episode. Did y'all see Lamar Jackson? That's all I gotta ask right now. Lamar was 18 for 21 on the day, 321 yards, five passing touchdowns. Um, MVP. Give it to him now, y'all. Just give Lamar the trophy, man. And I know some people come at me because they think I was hating on Lamar in the past because there was times where I said he wasn't a top five quarterback. At that particular time, I didn't feel like he was playing at a top five level. And that's just me being honest. But right now, Lamar is playing like the best quarterback in the league, if you ask me. Um, as far as the running, he's the most dynamic, and his threat is to just take. He's explosive, man. He could take it the distance. But Lamar can throw the ball. I think this game showed it, and he might not be a guy that has to drop back 45, 50 times. Like, you might not see that from Lamar, but the fact that he put up 321, 5 touchdowns on only 21 attempts, and he completed 18 of those attempts. Come on, man, that's efficient. He has a big arm. He can hit the big throws down the field. Give Lamar his flowers. Because when I said he was better than Hurts at the beginning of the season, people laughed and said it was a bad take. Well, what do they got to say now? Soon to be two-time MVP. Um, the Finn's been on fraud alert. That's no shocker here. I didn't believe in him. I don't think y'all should have believed in him. I know Dolphins fans, and I don't think they fully believe in him. I think the team that they beat with a winning record was the Cowboys, which is not a shocker. Um, but yeah, I don't know what to expect for them. They could end up with the winning the division still. It's kind of crazy that they didn't lock it up, considering how bad the Bills started, how bad the Patriots are, and how bad the Jets are. But I don't know. Maybe they might win next week. I don't know. We shall see. As for Baltimore, I mean, Baltimore clinched that number one seed. They could rest their players next week, whatever. But dang, Baltimore's for real, y'all. I think this showed it. I think this showed that Baltimore's for real, because this is the second one of the top teams that they played, and they just demolished them. Like, it was like they treated them like they wasn't a powerhouse, so to say. Um, I don't know, man. They Baltimore going to the Super Bowl. Drop in the comments if y'all think Baltimore is going to the Super Bowl. Shout out to all my Ravens fans, cousin Shoddy, my boy Groove, my boy E, my boy Ryan. I know a couple of them legit Ravens fans. But yeah, man. Drop a comment if you think Baltimore's going all the way, man. Um, Next up, we had the Houston Texans the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans. A game that the Texans were able to win, 26-3. The Texans move on to 9-7. D'Amico Ryans is the coach of the year, in my opinion, or at least the candidate between him and Dan Campbell. One of them have to win it. The Texans are in a position to make the playoffs. Think about where they were and how a good coach and a good quarterback just changed the whole dynamic of that team around. Even the guy, I think it's Will Anderson, the D end or outside line. He's a rusher. I think he just eclipsed 7 or 8 sacks or something like that. But the Texans can make the playoffs. They have an explosive enough offense that they could upset somebody. I don't know about make the title game, but they can potentially upset somebody. It's not a team that's just gonna lay down. D'Amico Ryans is gonna have them ready to go. As for the Titans have been the same consistent team all year. They'll show spurts one week like, oh, they look like they're putting something together. Then it's back to this. I wouldn't expect nothing for them. They got a lot to figure out as far as Derrick Henry's future, as far as their quarterback situation. They just got a lot to figure out. But drop a comment if y'all think Houston's going to the playoffs. Because if they win the division, they'll be in the playoffs. Um, Next up, we had New England at Buffalo, a game that Buffalo was able to win, 27-21. Shout out to Bills Mafia. The Bills, they're saying the Bills is the hottest team. It's crazy though, because even with that being said, the Bills can clinch the second or not make the playoffs at all this upcoming week. Let that sink in. Like, they could clinch the second seed or not make the playoffs at all. So that lets you know that race is like this, like, oh. But I think the Bills should beat Miami. It'll be a good game, though. It'll definitely be next week for the Bills in Miami. That's a playoff game. Which now, if whoever makes it, they're going into the first week of the playoffs banged up, because this is going to be a physical game. I'm telling you now, it has to be. They're playing for a position. They're playing for a spot, essentially. Both teams. I don't know. I think the Dolphins make it regardless. It's just all seeding for them. But the fact that the Bills can miss the playoffs is crazy. New England now moves on to 4-12. I don't know what's next for them. What's next for Bill Belichick? They asked him if he's coming back. He's saying he's focused on the next game. That's typical, but I don't know. If I was Bill, I'd hang it up. You ain't have nothing else to prove. People look at you like the GOAT, but the longer you coach, they're looking at it as like the GOAT is the one that made you that good, which is Tom Brady. Um, Sometimes you gotta know when to throw that talent. But yeah, drop in the comments what y'all think is gonna happen with the Patriots next season and Bill Belichick. Next up, we had the LA Rams at the New York Giants, a game that the Rams were able to win 26-25. Um, the Giants just have terrible luck. Um, I don't know what Tyrod Taylor was doing when they went for two. Um, Probably could have won the game on that. I don't know. There was still time left, but just completely threw it to Saquon, who was wide open, nobody around him. He wasn't about to get sacked or anything either, and just had a misfire. The Giants aren't complete trash though. They do show some fight. They do show like, all right, if we get the right pieces, maybe a quarterback. I don't know. They do show some fight. Um, but for the Rams, to me, I think the Rams are the most dangerous team right now, and I bet you nobody in NFC is telling you that they want to see the Rams in the first round of the playoffs. So don't sleep on them. I'm trying to tell y'all that right now. Nobody is telling you that they want to see the Rams in the first round of the NFC playoffs. And I put that on everything. Telling you that. Don't sleep on them. I've been telling y'all that all year. The team was banged up. They started to get healthy. They got hot. They got veteran players. They got skilled players. They got Kyron Williams, who's going crazy since coming back from injury. They got Puka Nakua. They got Cooper Kupp. They got Higby. Like, this team is dangerous. Don't sleep on them even trying to make a run to the Super Bowl. I know it might seem like a hot take now, but if there's a chance that the Rams are in the NFC title game, come back to this video so I can say I told you. All right. Next up we had San Fran. Excuse me. Next up we had San Fran at Washington. A game that San Fran was able to win 27-10. Shout out the Niner gang. um, Purdy's back. He had a bounce back week. I think he threw 5 picks last week after he got beat up by the Ravens. He's back. He actually set the all-time franchise record for passing yards in the season with 4,280 yards, and he now has 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions with a league high 72.7 QBR. Not too shabby for a check down or a game manager, as people like to say, including myself. But yeah, give him his credit. I kind of Ben gave him his credit. Um, Not gonna make this about a Purdy thing. I've said enough on him throughout the weeks. But are the 49ers still the team to beat? They got lumped up last week, but then they come back. I mean, I know it's the Command Redskins, but yeah, they look strong. They look like they haven't missed a beat to what they've been playing at all year. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. Do you guys see the 49ers finally getting over the hump and going all the way and getting to the Super Bowl? Drop in the comments. Washington, they've been up and down all year. The offense will be hot and be talked about. I remember there was a time when Sam Howell was actually leading the league in passing yards. But I don't know. They got a lot going on. They got to figure out. And I think Eric Bieniemy needs to get out of Dodge before he's the fall guy. And he's getting fired, and then they won't give him another job anywhere else. You know how y'all know how it goes. But next up, we had the Arizona Cardinals at the Eagles. Eagles. Woo-hoo, a game that the Arizona Cardinals were able to win in Philly 35-31. What's wrong with Philly, y'all? What's wrong with Philly, y'all? Before I get into it, drop in the comments what y'all think is wrong with Philly. Oh man, y'all probably think I'm loving this. I'm not. This ain't a Philly roast. I didn't come here to tear them down. That's not what this is about. I'm just giving my honest review like I do every week. But when I say I told you, son, I told you, son. Said a couple weeks ago, Philly was looking like funny money in the light. People was caught up on the record and them starting off high, and I'm just like, yo, you see something in that football team. I kind of gave them the benefit of the doubt at first because I'm like, it could be dangerous when they figure it out. It could be dangerous when they figure it out. Then as a fan of the game, I'm watching. I'm like, this is them with it figured out. Like this is they are who they are. They are who they are. So with that being said, is Serrani a good coach? I know it's easy to throw that out now. People blaming Johnson, OC. I know it's easy to throw the heat on Sirianni or whatever, however you pronounce it. I know I don't like the guy. He's cocky, whatever. I did like how he interacts with the team and gets the team to play for him. However, is Sirianni a good coach or was he just a product of a stacked roster? Drop in the comments. Is he a good coach or was he just a product of a stacked roster? Drop that in the comments. Um, Based off the energy, you know what my opinion is on that, so I don't got to say it. Um, what's the Eagles' playoff expectations? Um, you know, they were just in contention for a number one seed a couple weeks ago, and I think they said the Eagles have not won a game since Thanksgiving. Don't quote me on that or something. It was something since Thanksgiving, but there's been no repeats in that division. Now the division's up wide open for Dallas to take it. They're back. Dallas fans is happy to be in the playoffs, but they're like, yo, if we get this division, we're gonna rub it in their face. They cannot wait, Eagles fans. So you better hope y'all win next week. Um, as for the Cardinals, though, what do y'all see the Eagles? How do y'all say the Eagles playoff playing out? First round, one and done. My prediction, I think Philly is gonna be a one and done team, and that's just being honest. No hate, no nothing. My unbiased opinion. Um, as for the Cardinals are 4-12, but they've been looking better since Kyler Murray came back for the most part. I don't think they should trade him. I think they should take that draft pick, go out and get like a Marvin Harrison Jr. perhaps or somebody. Get somebody and just keep getting better. Like I said, Kyler Murray is back healthy, so that's a plus. But yeah, let's get into the next game. Next up, we had New Orleans at Tampa Bay, a game that the Saints were able to win, 23-13. Um, the Bucks' inconsistency has been a frustration to me because I hopped on their train and was ready to support them and was like, yo, this is gonna be the team that's gonna people in the NFC are gonna be scared to play in the playoffs. I don't know. Baker's been playing good. It's not that I don't know. It's just overall as a team, they're just inconsistent. They're consistently inconsistent. It's been up and down. They can still win the division. I feel like it's been the same story for the Saints though too. Like one week they're looking good, and the next week it's just like, they're not doing nothing. But out of these two teams, the Bucks and the Saints, who would you rather see make the playoffs? Drop a comment. Next up, we had the Carolina Panthers at the Jacksonville Jaguars, a game that the Jaguars were able to win, 26 donut. No Lawrence, no problem. Um, they finally got the ball running again a little bit. I don't know why they've got away from the run, which began with the struggles. These teams got to realize, make the quarterback's job the easiest. Y'all prime Trevor Lawrence up to be this big guy and think he got to throw 50 times a game or have these crazy stats. No, his job is to be efficient and make his life as easy as it can be and lean on that run game. Um, I still think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are frauds. They'll probably get eliminated the first round of the playoffs. I don't even know if they fully clinched though. Um, I don't know if they clinched. Don't coach me. They didn't clinch actually. I don't know if they're gonna be guaranteed a spot or not. But drop a comment if you think the Jacksonville Jaguars are frauds or not. As for the Panthers, this season's so frustrated. They had the owner so damn mad he threw a drink on the fan. The owner of the Panthers threw a drink on the fan. That's how you know he's tight with what's going on. You picked the wrong quarterback. You ain't got no draft picks coming up. I'll be throwing drinks on people too. He lucky he ain't throw that drink on me, because if I was at the game and the owner of a team threw a drink on me, they be calling that the Black Adam Scheffner Stadium. And then some. Ah man, what? I had my lawyer on the phone before I left out of the thing, before I left the stadium. But next up we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Chicago Bears, a game that the Bears were able to win 37-17. The Bears season did not turn out terrible. The Bears are actually 7-9, which is not a bad season at all. They still got a top three draft pick, I believe, because of the Panthers. I know it's definitely a top five, but I think it's a top three. Um, they were chanting Justin Fields at the game because how he played, so they might as well keep him. Take them good draft picks you got this year, build around him, maybe go get an O line, maybe a receiver or Brock Bowers, or I don't know. I don't know. It's up to them, but I'm just here to report. But I would be looking at Brock Bowers as or somebody. But yeah, shout out to the Bears. As for ATL, they have all this talent, but the Falcons do not have identity. A lot of talent, but no identity. They don't have a quarterback that could play there. Russell Wilson, cough, cough, would look good there. Probably a veteran with a lot of young talent. I don't know. It makes sense. Don't ask me. But yeah, I don't have nothing else to say about that game. Next up, we had the Las Vegas Raiders at the Indianapolis Colts, a game that the Colts were able to win 23-27. Um, for the Colts, the playoffs still are in play. I've been saying all year that I felt like the Colts were a piece away or off season away from doing something for real. They can make the playoffs. What they gonna do if they make the playoffs? That's to be continue to remain unknown. But they shocked me finishing up 9-7. If you would have asked me this 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 6, 7 weeks ago, I would have never thought that they were gonna end up with this record. Um, the Raiders continue to be a funny organization. Last week they beat the Chiefs smoking cigars and doing all this extra stuff. Their fans were hype, acting like it was their division, only for them to lose this game. And now what's next for LV? I mean, you definitely keep the head coach, but like, what do you do with quarterback going forward? Devontae Adams probably ain't happy. I think Josh Jacobs is due to hit free agency. I don't think they'll re-sign him. They do have Zamir White. Like, what's next up for the Raiders? Drop in the comments what y'all think is next up for the Raiders, because I don't know that many Raiders fans that I talk to enough to be knowing what's up with them. I just go by what I see on TV, and what I see on TV is that they some bumps. But anyway, um, kicking things off, we had our next up game, our 4 o'clock prime top matchup. We had the Cincinnati Bengals at my defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, a game that the Chiefs were able to win 25-17. Chiefs defense does it again. They had a slow start in the first half, came out the second half, played lights out. Um,
They know I'm good. They
Man,
know how to
Jamar
play us.
Chase,
That's what it
Jamar
is. But
Chase, Jamar
it's
Chase.
not like they got a superstar on their
Jamar
defense.
Chase talked a lot of trash this week, as you can see, and he ended up stranded on Sneed Island. Um, can L'Jarius Sneed get his flowers? Because for as much trash that Jamar Chase talked, for him to only have 41 yards, and then he comes with the excuses after the game. Oh, I was a decoy. Oh, I was this. Mind you, Snead didn't practice all last week. He didn't practice. He's hurt too. You ain't the only one hurt. Then don't say your quarterback, because he was balling, and get open. He could make them throws. The kid was like the number one quarterback coming out high school. But yeah, Jamar Chase, you ran your mouth, and you're one of my favorite receivers. But the corny stuff off the field is just like, yo, these young dudes are clowns. Um, as for Sneed Island, which you're probably wondering, who's L'Jarius Sneed? This ain't a talked about name, da 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 da. I get it. But I'm gonna just read off some stats. We played against the Vikings. Justin Jefferson only had 28 yards. We played against the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill only had 62 yards and a turnover. Yeah, that's not a lot of yards. I get it. Tyreek's been going crazy. So for him, 62 yards, that's lock up. If you hold Tyreek Hill to 62 yards, that's lock up. AJ Brown, he 8 yards. Devontae Adams, 4 yards. Jamar Chase, the latest victim on Sneed Island, 41 yards. Give my boy his flowers. He's been doing this thing all year. He hasn't given up a touchdown in man coverage all year. Sneed is a lockdown corner. He might not be the fastest. He might not, but he's pressing these receivers on the line. He was pressing Tyreek Hill on the line. That's why these receivers be mad at him because he puts his hands on them. When you get in it, when you get on that island with Sneed, you better bring them boxing gloves because he's putting them things on you. But give my boy his credit. As for the Chiefs, do the Chiefs pose any threat for the playoffs? Y'all drop a comment. It's my team. With me, I always say as long as we got Mahomes, we got a chance. But I really don't know what to expect from this team, so I couldn't give you an honest opinion on that. But what do y'all think is gonna happen with the Chiefs? I still say it. I don't think nobody wants to see them. I know the main issue that I think was on clear display this week. MVS got to go. Um, as you see, he had a big drop that he would have walked into the end zone. MVS is a fast guy, which is why you see the Chiefs continue to throw him to him because he's open, because he's fast and he's beating guys. But he has two freaking bricks for hands. The dude got lobster hands. He try to catch the ball like this, like, man. MVS, you got to go, bro. You're looking at Mahomes. He throws a ball. He had pressure in his face, so he had to get rid of it. It's just get rid of it and put it to the receiver. There was nobody around you. It was a cross drag route. He didn't whip it or nothing. He just put it out there. Hits him right in his hands. Right here. He had it right here. He's looking at him like he threw it behind. Bro, the ball hits you in your hands, my guy. You're an NFL wide receiver. Oh, I'm getting fired up. Let me relax. Um, Start talking about my team. I get passionate. As for the Chiefs, that's 8 straight. Yes, 8 straight years they have now won the AFC West, which is crazy because this is a down year for the Chiefs. I'm telling you, this is a down year for the Chiefs. They're gonna go out and get receivers. There's gonna be moves to be made. Like they're gonna get Pat some help, like they did with the O line. They're gonna address any issue that they see that he needs to be tended to. So the NFC West, AFC West was wide open this year because the Chiefs had a down year. None of these other bums could even win it. That's how bad they are. Like that's where their franchise at. Like they're in a position where none of them could have competed. But yeah, I don't want to harp on my team too long. As for the Bengals, it sucks to not see Joe Burrow out there, but we're looking forward to seeing him back next year. Always going to be a contender with him. I think they ended up having a good season for what how everything played out. Um, Next up, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Seattle Seahawks, a game that the Seattle lost to the Steelers 30-23. Steelers won. Shout out to the Steelers. Mike Tomlin, that's now 17 straight non-losing seasons. Drop a comment if that's a good feat or it's just like, oh, well, he just didn't have a losing season. Doesn't mean they went to the playoffs or did anything. Um, You see, I don't got the sign this week. They finally freed my boy. Did they? Did they free George Pickens? I just looked at his stats the other day after this week. He had 63 receptions for this. Peep this for 1,140 yards and 5 touchdowns. The fact that George Pickens has 1,000 yards and even 5 touchdowns for how underused he is crazy. He has 63 catches. George Pickens is a 85 guy, like an 85 catch at least guy. He's one of them guys that you can go to and give him 16 targets a game, and he's pulling down 8, 9 of them. Like he's really him. Like, oh, that's the frustrating. Seattle's been a letdown all year. I don't trust them. I had the same energy. I just didn't know how the season would play out. But now it kind of seems they are who they are. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs. I think they still have a shot. You know, the playoff scenario, I don't understand how that works. So I don't try to break it down. I just say a team might or they might not. I think they have a chance. But if they make it, they make it. But if not, this season's been a failure. I thought they found something last year with Gino. They weren't able to replicate what they had last year, which is okay. Just go to the off season and figure it out. But I never trusted them. Um, Next up, we had the LA Chargers at the Denver Broncos. A game that Broncos country was able to win 16-9. Um, the backup ball, we had Easton Stick versus Jarrett Stidham. Those are two names. First and foremost, Denver did Russ filthy. So that get that out. They did Russell Wilson dirty. I'm not gonna go into it. If you know, you know. If not, just go look in Russell Wilson Denver Broncos situation. Um, but what's next for the Broncos? What's next for the Chargers? Like I said, this was somebody's year to take that AFC West step and be like, we're trying to establish dominance, and none of these teams did it. Um, but yeah, what's next for each of those teams? Um, I don't know. I don't expect anything from either one of them, and that's not just them being in my division and me hating. I mean, I guess the Chargers are in a better position. They have a franchise quarterback and everything, but I don't know. I don't know. I just know they did Russ dirty. Um, but then capping off week 17, we had our Sunday night matchup. We had the Green Bay Cheeseheads at the Minnesota Vikings. A game that the Cheeseheads were able to win 33-10. Um, wasn't very much of an exciting game as far as action back to back. It was nice on Green Bay fans because they were putting up points, but it was a boring game to me. Um, I like to say sorry to Jordan Love. I kind of criticized him all year. I just didn't know. Like, teams were looking shaky at times, but then they figure something out and they get hot. That's football. Um, Jordan Love now has 30 touchdowns on the season. That's third best in the NFL. He has more passing touchdowns than Pat Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league. Um, I think if Green Bay wins this next game at the Bears, they're in the playoffs. Um, Minnesota, probably definitely a frustrating year just with injuries, and then you lose your top dog, Kurt. But does Kirk come back? I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't bring him back and just kind of try to build. It's a veteran quarterback. You know he's going to fling that pill. You got two good receivers, one stud who's probably the best in the league, and then a rookie in Addison who's coming on. But yeah, I don't know. What do y'all think is going to happen next for the Vikings? Drop in the comments if you think Kirk Cousins will be back next year in Minnesota. Um, but yeah, as for Green Bay, like I said, they win next week. They're in. Not sure what they can do in the playoffs. They are one of those teams. Like you see, they beat the Chiefs. They are one of them teams that they can get your number. They can get your number. But yeah, wrapping things up. That wraps up week 17. Um, Exciting week as always. Glad to be back. As I said, I'm back. I'm just here to bring you this great quality, non-biased, informative, entertaining content. Um, I've been thinking about what I'm gonna do after the show, like after the season's over, but I'm still doing football. Like I love football. The people that watch, y'all watch this because y'all love football. Um, so yeah, the show's gonna go on. Like I said, I've been on the drawing board. I got some exciting things coming. I've been saying it all year, but I'm really I just been researching. This is all new to me. YouTube, figuring this thing. I'm doing all this by myself, teaching myself. I don't know how to do none of this. Um, but yeah, it's trial and error. It's trial and error. But I appreciate everybody rocking with me. I appreciate everybody subscribing. Let's get to 50 subscribers. I don't believe we're there yet. I'm coming this year. Like I promise you, I'm bringing you this content with this football, man. I'm pushing football this year, man. Just be on the lookout because we're back. We're back. We're back better than ever. That's what this year's theme is. Back better than ever. We never went nowhere. We're just back better than ever, though. But yeah, I appreciate everybody. Please subscribe, share, comment. I try to get back to the comments. Like I said, I'm still learning. Like I'm used to being on YouTube, my personal YouTube page, and being able to reply to people's comments on other people's videos. Now it's my video, so like it's a different log. It's just different. But like I said, I've been learning. I've been teaching myself this, and we here. I appreciate y'all that's been rocking with me. Um, With that being said, checking out. I am your host, Ree, aka the Black Adam Scheffner, and I'm out. Happy New Year, y'all. Happy New Year.